best sports book on earth.
Yeah, Cleveland now the favorites at plus 140. The Heat now slide right behind them, followed by Golden State and the Sixers. It's really been those four teams the entire time, and they've kind of rotated and flip-flopped. We do this with the draft, and we do this with things like this, where we talk about how like this is the one time where unless the sports books are talking directly to LeBron or someone in his camp, you know just as much as they do because of the information that is being reported and leaked out. It's the one time you can try to take advantage of information like this. But as of right now, Cavaliers are the favorites. Who knows? Nobody knows shit right now, but it's probably between those four.
Okay, so nobody knows shit. Let's find out. No relation to Jake and Logan. Ladies and gentlemen, founder of Clutch, Rich Paul.
Okay.
Rich. Okay, Rich.
Yes, sir.
I'm sick of it. Okay? I am sick of it.
Pat, what are you sick of? Relax.
I'm going to spend my summer trying to guess whether or not LeBron's going to be an Indiana Pacer or not. When's this coming to an end? You know the answers. Where is he going? We need the answer now.
Pat, listen, I love my guy, Kevin Pritchard, and Chad Buchanan over at the Pacers. You just had Hallie on your show. You're not spending your summer worried about that.
Okay.
And I read the news just as much as you do. You can spend your summer on the moon based upon what I just read. So I have no sympathy for you. Zero.
Okay, all right.
I am not sympathizing for Pat McAfee. No, I'm not.
Okay, I understand. But go ahead.
So what do you have?
But what are we doing? So how do you feel like this is going to go? Obviously, we saw. By the way, incredibly pumped for you with your podcast.
Hell yeah.
Go on, Rich.
You're doing really well, Rich. And obviously, the first time an agent, especially one that's as influential as you, opens up and starts doing regular content, there's going to be backlash because it hasn't happened in before. We assume that in the future, others will be attempting to do the same thing. You obviously, we think, good orator, good speaker, good storyteller, and obviously your resume is outrageous. We think it's a good idea. Now, you've pissed people off with some of the things, and I assume you even learned some lessons throughout the entirety of this first season, but we're all listening to what you're saying. It sounds like what you're saying, and we could be wrong. I haven't spoke to you directly about this, only heard your shit. LeBron is making this decision. LeBron has all the information he needs. LeBron is kind of trying to figure it out for what's best for his family, him, his legacy, what he wants to do with his life. Is that kind of the right thing? And then we can kind of just put this to bed until you guys, until Mr. James the King decides to tell us he's coming to the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, just have a little patience with him. And us, obviously, Pat is his choice. I have a job to do to set the table for him, but it's his choice. And in my conversation with Adam, which obviously, Adam, the greatest commissioner of all leagues, we understand where the league is at and things of that nature as it pertains to the schedule, but it's a very conflicting thing because this is a very important choice for him, and you cannot rush it. I think he's earned the right not to be rushed. And so it's not a thing where you're toying with people's emotions or trying to make it about anything more than the fact that, hey, this man has a very important layered decision to make across business, across family, across basketball. And, basketball is the business, obviously. But, just have to be patient with him. I don't know, Pat. I wish I did know. I don't know. I don't know.
That's Connor.
I wouldn't even joke with you.
That's Connor right there, and I appreciate him doing that. But also, I appreciate the fact, and this was just like when Aaron Rodgers was trying to figure out what the hell he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers has committed his entire life to football. Okay, so him deciding whether or not he wants to continue or play somewhere else is a huge decision for him personally. Now, for us as Daily Sports Show, we like that decision to be made yesterday.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or this morning. We would like that. But on that note, he's played basketball his entire life. Who knows how many more pages this book has of King James's basketball career? What he decides to do with those is a massive decision, a lot of consequences on it. Now, last question here does come from Connor, Rich.
Yeah, Rich, I think we all would like to know, is this going to be like a farewell tour just because so we can all take it in and enjoy it? Or is this one of those things where it's going to be, he plays a year and then makes another decision just because based on how his body feels, how he's feeling mentally? What is that process like?
Connor, I have no idea. I think if you follow his career, he's always been someone to take care of his body and things like that, to put himself in a position that when and if he decides to make whatever decision he decides to make in terms of his choice for continue to play or not continue to play, it's because he wants to make that choice, not because he has to make that choice. And I think as a former athlete, I know AJ's on the show and I know Pat's on the show, and I'll include myself in that as a former athlete. All right, but no, in all seriousness, I think, Pat, when you put yourself in this position, has there ever been someone who gets to a place to where they can honestly decide with full clarity and choosing whatever they decide, whatever they choose as pertains to continuing to play a sport or where you're going to go to continue your professional career with full clarity? Normally, we are manipulated by a financial component, and in this case, he's not. And so, look, I think, like I said to him, and I said to you guys, I said on my show, hopefully, your audience is tuning into the Game Over show.
Absolutely.
On Spotify, Netflix, but with myself and Max Kellerman. But I think that, it's a very unique position to be in, and, it's something that, I think, again, you have to be happy for a guy who's earned it. I asked him to find humility and peace while still playing the game, and if he can do that moving forward. I personally don't like to think about the end of it because, he's got so much left in the tank, but that's his choice. He has his family and things of that nature. So, but me personally, I don't like to think about that because he's been so great to us and so great to the game, and he's meant so much to the sport. But for now, we don't know. Be a little patient, and he's going to choose whenever he chooses, and wherever he goes, I'm going to be ecstatic for him, and I'm sure that fan base will as well.
All right, you're the man. We appreciate you stopping by, giving us a little brief glimpse into what's happening behind the scenes, and we agree with what you're saying. LeBron's earned the right to be in this position, and I think LeBron, although he is still, the kid from Akron, he understands that the entire world wants to know what he's doing, and I'd want him to know that should not mean that he should give us an answer sooner than later. But if he wants to come to the Pacers, we'd like to break it right here.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'll let him know that. I'm sure he'll probably watch it and hear you say it yourself. I have a question for you though, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to personally invite you to the Clutch Cup. It's on 8/24. It's a golf outing that is being put together here, being led by Fair. She's putting it together, her and her team, and it's going to be pretty cool. So,
I'm in.
You're a friend of the program, so I'm personally inviting you. I might get in trouble for this, but so what? I'm personally inviting you.
All right, good. There's gonna be a lot of enemies of mine there, but I will certainly come, and I appreciate you. And I'll bring these bad boys, that I thought was possible for today. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. That's Rich Paul.
Yeah, Rich.
Yeah, you're the man. You're the man. Okay, joining us now. Speaking of golf. Okay, so I'm going to the Clutch. What's it called?
Clutch Cup. You
guys are going too.
We say 8/24.
8/24. Yeah.
He did invite us.
Yeah, he did invite us, and I know that date came up yesterday